Next part is students. I already finished part 1, part 2. Part 1 I discussed about the rectangular form of the complex number. Part 2 I discussed about the organed plane. Complex number is represented like a point as well as a position vector in the organed plane. Okay. So in the third part we are going to discuss the algebraic operations on complex numbers, which is very important. Okay. In that first one, scalar multiplication of a complex number. Scalar means what? One number. Suppose if you are having some complex number z, which is nothing but x plus iy, and if k belongs to real number, suppose if you multiply with k, what happens? The real part separately you should multiply with k, imaginary part also separately you should multiply with k. For example, 1 into z, nothing but z only, because k value 1 into x, 1 into y, so z only. Here k value minus 1 into z means minus z, minus 1 x minus yi, 0 into z, 0 into x 0, 0 into y 0. So some example, and you can draw the diagram like this also. For example, k value 2 I took, so this is complex number z. 2 means 2z, 2z means what? It will go here, double the value. Suppose this is z is 2 plus 3i, and this is 2z means 4 plus 6i. So it will come here. Okay. So double this z value becomes 2z. Half, this is k value half. That means the magnitude is reduced to half. Suppose this is z value 2 plus 4i. This is a 1 plus 2i. Like that. Okay. Very simple, students. Next one is minus z. If z is 2 plus 3i, what is minus z? Minus 2 minus 3i. Suppose this lies in first quadrant, means this will lies in third quadrant, because opposite to 2 comma 3. So 2 comma 3 is first quadrant, means third quadrant is minus 2 comma minus 3. So this is a minus 3. Okay. So if you multiply with minus 1, z will comes under third quadrant. Okay. This is very simple. There is not that much preference is given to this one. Next part is very important. Addition of complex numbers. See here, very important part. Addition of complex numbers. Suppose if you want to add two complex numbers, then how will you add? I am taking two complex numbers z1 and z2 and adding these two complex numbers. Very simple. You add two complex numbers. If you want to add two complex number, means add the real part separately and imaginary part separately. That much simple. Suppose z1 is equal to x1 plus iy1. z2 is equal to x2 plus iy2, where this x1, x2, y1, y2 belongs to real numbers. Real numbers means natural numbers, integers, whatever it may be. Then, if you want to add z1 plus z2, z1 plus z2, z1 is x1 plus iy1 plus z2 means x2 plus iy2. Then, you add real part separately, x1 plus x2, put the bracket, plus I into imaginary part separately, y1 plus y2. That much simple. Suppose this is idli, this is puri. Idli separately you add, puri separately you add. That's it. So for example, z1 is 2 plus 3i, z2 is minus 7 plus 6i. What is z1 plus z2? Means that much simple. Real part separately, x1 plus x2. So 2 plus minus 7 plus I into imaginary part, 3 plus 6. Or directly you can write 2 plus minus 7 minus 5 plus 9i. Directly you can write. That doesn't matter. One step also you can finish it. Okay. But thing is, real part separately you should add. Imaginary part separately you should add. That is the procedure. Okay. Next, subtraction. Even subtraction also same procedure you have to follow. You see here. Same example I took for subtraction also. Subtraction of complex numbers. z1 minus z2. z1 plus minus z2 I can write. So the second one becomes minus x2 minus iy2. z1 is same, x1 plus iy1. Now you subtract real part separately, imaginary part separately. x1 minus x2, this is real part, plus I into y1 minus y2, imaginary part. Same thing, like z1 plus z2, எப்படி நம்ம real part separately add பண்ணிருக்கோம், imaginary part separately add பண்ணிருக்கோம். அதே மாதிரி real part separately subtract பண்ணும், imaginary part separately subtract பண்ணும். So 2 minus of minus 7. இங்க minus 7 இருக்கு, அதனால minus minus plus ஆயிடுச்சு. Okay. Plus I into y1 minus y2. y1 is what? y1 we took 3. y2 is 6. 3 minus 6. So 9 minus 3i. Okay. So next, these two are very easy. for you to understand. Okay, so next one is the multiplication of complex numbers. Multiplication of complex number z1 into z2. This is also very important part. We will see this one also now. Multiplication of complex number. See, understand the steps clearly. Okay, see, x1 plus iy1 into x2 plus iy2. First you take x1 into x2. x1 with இது ரெண்டு மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணிடலாம். x1 into x2 plus x1 into iy2. ஸோ நம்ம ரியல் பார்ட் எடுத்திருக்கோம், இது ரெண்டுமே இன்டூ பண்ணிருக்கோம், ப்ளஸ் பண்ணி இன்டூ மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அதே மாதிரி இமேஜினரி பார்ட் எடுத்து இது ரெண்டு இன்டூ பண்ணு. அப்போ iy1 into x2 plus iy1 into iy2. I into I ஸ்கொயர். ஸோ x1 x2 இது ரெண்டுத்தில் I காமன் பண்ணு, ப்ளஸ் I into x1 y2 plus x2 y1. I ஸ்கொயர் மைனஸ் 1, ஸோ மைனஸ் y1 y2. ஸோ இப்போ வந்து ரியல் பார்ட்டு நீங்கள் தனியாக ஆட் பண்ணு, தனியாக ரெப்ரசென்ட் பண்ணு. x1 x2 மைனஸ் y1 y2 அது ரியல் பார்ட்டு, ப்ளஸ் I into இது இமேஜினரி பார்ட்டு. ஓகே, சி ஃபஸ்ட் ஒன் லாஸ்ட் ஒன் ஆல்வேஸ் ரியல் பார்ட் ஒன்லிடா, அண்ட் தென் மிடில் பார்ட் ஒன்லி இமேஜினரி பார்ட். தீஸ் டூ ஒன்லி இமேஜினரி பார்ட். ஃபஸ்ட் டேர்ம் லாஸ்ட் டேர்ம் எப்போவுமே ரியல் பார்ட் தான் உங்களுக்கு வரும். ஓகே, ஸோ ரியல் பார்ட், திஸ் இஸ் இமேஜினரி பார்ட். ஒன் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஆல்சோ ஐ டிட் ஹியர். யூ சி ஹியர் 2 plus 3i into 4 plus 7i. Easy way I will take. I will tell. 2 real part you take, you multiply these two. 2 into 4 8, 2 into 7i 14i. Okay, 3i into 4 12i, 3i into 7i 21, I into I square. ஸோ இப்போ புரியுதா உங்களுக்கு? இந்த மிடில் பார்ட் ரெண்டு மட்டும்தான் ரியல் இமேஜினரி பார்ட்டு. இங்கே வந்து I ஸ்கொயர் மைனஸ் 1 அதனால இங்கே 21 into minus 1 minus 21 தான் ஆகும். அப்போ 8 minus 21 minus 13 அதுதான் ரியல் பார்ட்டு, ப்ளஸ் 26 I. ஸோ தட் மீன்ஸ் வாட் எவர் த ஆப்பரேஷன் யூ பெர்ஃபார்ம்டு, வெதர் இட் இஸ் அடிஷன் ஆர் மல்டிப்ளிகேஷன் ஆர் சப்ட்ராக்ஷன், த அல்டிமேட் ரிசல்ட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ a complex number. If you add two complex number, the result is also a complex number. If you multiply two complex number, then just now we saw the result is also a complex number. If you subtract two complex number, the result is also a complex number. Okay, so addition, I told subtraction, addition is just a addition of real part separately and imaginary part separately. That's it. Subtraction means subtraction of real part separately, subtraction of imaginary separately. That's it. Multiplication means take real part, you multiply other two, take imaginary part, you multiply other two, then it will be very easy for you. Take real part, you multiply other two, take imaginary part, you multiply other two. Okay, so next one small concept is there, they might ask in 1 mark also. Suppose I am having a complex number z, and if I multiply that z with I, that means what? Z is x plus iy, I multiply with I, then it becomes what? I into x ix, I into iy I square y. So it becomes what? Minus y plus ix. That means what? This is in which quadrant now? It is second quadrant. That means what? This is shifted 90 degrees, or it will be rotated 90 degrees in the counterclockwise direction. That means what? If z is present in first quadrant, iz is present in second quadrant, there is nothing but shifting of z by 90 degrees. You see here, this is z, it is shifted by 90 degrees when this z is multiplied with I. Again, if this iz is multiplied by I, it becomes I square z, then it becomes in the third quadrant. Okay, it comes to third quadrant. You understand? Again I am multiplying with I. Okay, and then negative x, negative y it will come. So minus y, minus x it will come. Next again I square z is multiplied with I cube z, it will comes in the fourth quadrant. So if iz I multiply panna, it will rotate 90 degrees in the counterclockwise direction. If first z iz ஆயிடுச்சு by the rotation of 90 degrees by counterclockwise. Again இங்கிதுல இருந்து ஒரு 90 degrees சுத்தியாச்சுன்னா அது third quadrant வரும். If you multiply again with I, again அது I ஓட multiply பண்ணா இன்னொரு 90 degrees சுத்தும். Okay, so simply what you should remember na, multiplication of any complex number by z, okay, it will rotate the given z, multiplication of any complex number z by I successively rotates the z in the counterclockwise direction. about the origin. First z இங்கே இருக்கிறது i ஆல் மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணால் 90 degrees ரொட்டேட்டாக இங்கே வந்துச்சு, மறுபடியும் i ஆல் இன்ட்டு பண்ணால் இன்னொரு 90 degrees ரொட்டேட்டாக இங்கே வந்துச்சு, இன்னொரு 90 degrees மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணால் இங்கே வந்துச்சு. ஸோ எவ்ரி டைம் 90 degrees it is rotating. This is rotated by 90 degree, again this fellow is rotated by 90 degree, this fellow 90 degrees, again this fellow also 90 degrees, because again if you multiply with i, z only will come. Okay, so first quadrant means it will become second quadrant means third quadrant means fourth quadrant. Okay, this part is somewhat important because they may ask for 1 mark also. Okay, so if you complex number z is rotated with i, simply it will come to the new position with the rotation of the z in the counterclockwise direction by 90 degrees or pi by 2 radians. Pi by 2 radians 90 degrees both are same. Okay, you already studied in +1. Okay students, so with this I finish the introductory part of exercise 2.2. I did this in 3 parts. First part explains rectangular form of complex number, second part explains about the organed plane, organed diagram, and third part explains about the operations of complex numbers, which is very important. Okay students, so next class we'll see the problems also. So if you like this video, you like this channel, please subscribe. Okay, bye.